January 2026 is the most memorable month in AI after the launch of ChatGPT in December 2022. Within the span of just 2 weeks, two radically different products, Anthropic's Claude Cowork and Peter Steinberger's open-source OpenClaw, arrived and collectively redefined what people expect from artificial intelligence. They are not chatbots. They are not co-pilots. They are general-purpose agents, software that plans, acts, and delivers real outcomes across the messy, unstructured landscape of everyday work. Together, they represent the clearest signal yet that the AI industry has crossed a threshold from which there is no return. There are winners and losers. SaaS stocks got priced downwards and lost $550 billion in combined valuation. And probably the world got its first billion-dollar single-person startup in the form of Peter Steinberger being acqui-hired by OpenAI. OpenAI has announced that personal agents are going to become core to their product offering. Let's dive into what Claude Cowork and OpenClaw are and how they work. Claude Cowork launched on January 12, 2026, as Anthropic's evolution of its wildly successful Claude Code terminal tool, but aimed squarely at non-developers. Where Claude Code gave programmers an autonomous coding partner in the terminal, Cowork extends that same agentic architecture to knowledge work broadly. It runs as a desktop application on macOS initially, and its core mechanic is deceptively simple. You point it at a folder on your computer, describe what you want done, and walk away. Under the hood, Cowork operates as a loop. It reads your files, reasons about the task, breaks it into sub-steps, executes those steps using local file system access and tool integrations, and iterates until the work is complete. It can produce Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint decks, research summaries, organized file structures, and legal documents. Powered by the latest Claude model, which set new records across major benchmarks, Cowork's planning and execution capabilities are a generation ahead of anything the chat with an AI paradigm could deliver. Anthropic subsequently released 11 open-source plugins spanning legal, finance, marketing, and sales workflows, turning Cowork into a modular platform rather than a monolithic tool. Now let's talk about OpenClaw and its interesting naming journey from Clawbot to Moltbot to OpenClaw. OpenClaw took a completely different path to the same destination. Created by Peter Steinberger, the Austrian developer behind PSPDFKit, it started as a weekend hack in November 2025, a simple bridge between WhatsApp and a local CLI that relayed messages to LLM APIs. Steinberger called it Claudebot. It was renamed Moltbot on January 27, 2026, a nod to how lobsters molt to grow, and then permanently rebranded to OpenClaw 3 days later to emphasize its open-source identity. OpenClaw's architecture is local-first and model-agnostic. It runs on consumer hardware. Users bought Mac Minis to run it 24/7. But even simple machines in the cloud are sufficient. It connects to your existing messaging apps, WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, as its primary interface. You text your agent like you'd text a colleague. The agent has system-level access. It can open your browser, manage your calendar, send emails, run terminal commands, process files, and execute multi-step workflows autonomously. Everyone has their magic moments with these agents. For Peter, the creator, it was that the agent, without being explicitly programmed to do so, figured out how to process an audio file by inspecting its headers, converting it with FFmpeg, and transcribing it via API, all autonomously. It demonstrated genuine tool use reasoning, not scripted behavior. The key architectural difference: Cowork is a polished, subscription-based product, $20 to $200 per month, from a well-funded AI lab. OpenClaw is MIT licensed, self-hosted, and community-driven. One is a managed experience. The other is a hacker's playground. Both, however, share the same fundamental design pattern. An LLM in a loop with real tool access, planning capabilities, and the autonomy to execute multi-step tasks without constant human hand-holding. So why do people love them? The enthusiasm for these agents is not hype, it's relief. For years, AI promised to transform work, but mostly delivered a slightly better search box. You still had to copy-paste outputs, manually format documents, switch between 12 tabs, and babysit every interaction. General agents eliminate that friction. With Cowork, a marketing manager can say, "Analyze last quarter's campaign data in this folder and produce a board-ready deck with recommendations, and come back to a finished PowerPoint." A lawyer can point it at a folder of contracts and ask for a risk summary. The value proposition isn't AI can write text, it's AI can do the job. OpenClaw's appeal is different but equally powerful. It taps into the deep desire among developers and power users to own their AI. No subscription lock-in, no data leaving your machine, no corporate terms of service governing what your agent can do. The WhatsApp and Telegram interface is genius in its simplicity. You don't need to learn a new app, you just text. The open-source community rallied around it with extraordinary speed. 200,000-plus GitHub stars, millions of active installations, 20,000-plus forks, and 2 million visitors within days of going viral. It became the fastest-growing open-source project in GitHub history. People also love the personality of these agents, OpenClaw's Space Lobster branding, and the emergence of Moltbook, a social network where only AI agents can post, attracting 2.5 million autonomous agents, captured the cultural imagination in a way that enterprise software never could. It made AI agents feel fun, weird, and alive. Now let's talk about the market impact. What the press dubbed the SaaS-pocalypse. The market impact was immediate and brutal. When Anthropic released Cowork's 11 open-source plugins, covering legal document review, financial analysis, marketing automation, and sales workflows, investors did the math. If an AI agent running locally on a $20 per month subscription can do 80% of what specialized SaaS tools charge hundreds of dollars per seat, for what happens to those SaaS companies? The answer arrived on February 18, 2026. Approximately $285 billion in market capitalization was wiped out across the software, financial services, and asset management sectors. DocuSign shares dropped 10% in a single session. LegalZoom, RELX, and dozens of other vertical SaaS companies saw significant declines. The market was repricing an entire category of software in real time. To date, the total wipeout is in excess of $550 billion. This wasn't irrational panic. It was a rational reassessment. General agents don't just compete with individual SaaS products. They threaten the model of selling specialized software for specialized tasks. When a general-purpose agent can read your files, understand context, use tools, and produce professional output, the value of a narrowly scoped SaaS tool with a pretty UI diminishes rapidly. OpenClaw's impact was different but equally significant. By demonstrating that a single developer could build a viable personal agent in a weekend, it collapsed the perceived barrier to entry for agentic AI. The open-source ecosystem exploded, but so did the risks. Security researchers discovered a critical remote code execution vulnerability and identified over 230 malicious packages in the OpenClaw ecosystem designed to steal passwords and API keys. The speed of adoption had outrun the security infrastructure needed to support it. The acqui-hire of Steinberger by OpenAI on February 15, 2026, with OpenClaw transitioning to an independent foundation while remaining MIT licensed, confirmed that the major labs view personal agents as a critical battleground. This isn't a feature war anymore. It's a platform war. So where is AI heading? These two products, arriving simultaneously from opposite ends of the spectrum, one corporate, one indie, one polished, one raw, one closed, one open, together illuminate the trajectory, from reactive to proactive. The chatbot era is over. The defining characteristic of general agents is that they do things. They don't suggest, they execute. This is a fundamental shift in the human-AI relationship, from AI as oracle to AI as colleague, from cloud to local. Both CoWork and OpenClaw run primarily on local machines. Your files stay on your computer. This isn't just a privacy feature. It's an architectural necessity. Agents need deep, persistent access to your working context. That context lives on your desktop, not in a cloud API. From specialized to general. The SaaSpocalypse revealed that general-purpose agents with tool access can approximate the functionality of dozens of specialized tools. The trajectory points toward fewer, more capable agents, replacing constellations of single-purpose software. From safe to dangerous. OpenClaw's security incidents are a preview of what happens when autonomous software with system-level access goes mainstream before security practices catch up. The 230-plus malicious packages, the critical vulnerability, and the crypto scams that emerged around the project are not bugs in the system. They are features of a world where AI agents have real power. The security challenges of the agent era will dwarf anything the chatbot era produced. In conclusion, Claude CoWork and OpenClaw are not just products. They are existence proofs. They prove that AI agents can do real work, that people desperately want them to, and that the economic consequences of that capability are enormous and immediate. The $550 billion SaaSpocalypse, the 200,000 GitHub stars, these are not anomalies. They are the opening chapter of a new era in which software doesn't just respond to humans, but acts alongside them. The question is no longer whether general agents will reshape the economy. It's whether we can build the security, governance, and trust frameworks fast enough to keep up with what we've already unleashed.